So the last week has actually been super chaotic. On Monday it was my birthday, so I've just been kind of like vibing that day. But with this being the last week of college that we're in now, before half term, well, I finished for half term on Wednesday, but the Monday, Tuesday, and the Wednesday, well, basically like the work was dialed up to 11, so I hadn't had much time to work on videos, which is why I'm recording this video so late actually. I was meant to record this a good few weeks ago, so I could have had it prepared. But no, I'm a fucking retard, and I decided to basically leave this till the last minute. You're seeing this on the 25th, I'm recording this on the 23rd. Basically, I left it so long because of all my work, and then I've had my birthday, and I didn't really want to work on videos on my birthday. The only exception to that has been the daily vlogs going over on the vlogging channel, so if you aren't watching those, I recommend going and watching them. Some of them are actually really entertaining, and if you wanted like an insight into my daily life and, you know, like the run-up to Christmas and stuff like that, I recommend going and checking those vlogs out. So it has officially been 1 year since the release of Modern Warfare, and I thought that since you guys really liked the Call of Duty Ghost video that I premiered a good few weeks ago at this point, that I'd basically bring back that format. Instead of making it just a one-off video like I'd intended, I'd bring back the format. I'd basically put it into a yearly, annual review sort of thing, where we'll take a look at that year's Call of Duty. Now that Modern Warfare is pretty much done, it's only got a few more weeks left of its life cycle until Black Ops Cold War officially releases on November 13th. We're just basically going to take a look. Now that we have pretty much all of the content, all the events have happened, we can analytically take a look at the game and see how good of a game it really was. Now, if you look on the Google audience, kind of reviews thing, there's a lot of 5 stars for the game. There's a hell of a lot of 5 stars. But then there's also a lot of 1 stars. So what this is telling me is that it's a very polarizing game, like Call of Duty Ghosts. But I'd say it's more of a polarized game, I should say, because there's a lot of people that think it's really great, and then there's a lot of people that think it's really terrible. Now, you guys will know my position on the game as if you've watched some of my older videos, but if you haven't, then this may be a good starting point, because I'm going to take a look at all the things that I think are good in this game, all the things I think are mess, so they're not exactly a very big deal, or the very minor issues, and then the things that I think are bad and honestly wish had never happened with the game, and in some extent can spoil my experience of the game. So obviously I'm breaking this up into sections like I did for my my Call of Duty Ghost video. Pretty sure I'm going to premiere this one as well, so fingers crossed you guys will enjoy. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the good. So you guys know how this format works. First we take a look at the good, then we take a look at the, like the minor issues, then we take a look at the bad, and finish on the negative note, before we go on to the conclusion, where I basically make my final judgment. And yeah, of course, we're going to start off with the good. So the first thing that I really liked about Modern Warfare was the monetization scheme. Now, a lot of people do have a bit of a criticism for the game with how expensive some of the stuff in the shop is, but those people obviously don't remember supply drops. Like, how long it would take you to get a single piece of content in supply drops, and how much money that would actually cost. It would have cost way more than this stuff, and at least you're actually knowing what you're paying for when you purchase the COD points. You're like, right, I want this anime weapons pack or something, if you're me apparently, but say you wanted this anime weapons packs, you'd buy the COD points and you know how much you're going to spend like straight away. You're not going to be like, well, I have the chance of getting this, so I may spend anywhere from $1 to $200, for example, or maybe you might try and even spend like $2,000 in some case. Like, people have spent a ridiculous amount of money on supply drops in the past, and it's kind of ridiculous. So I was very happy that Modern Warfare changed out the monetization system, and Activision have made millions more than they did with supply drops as well, because people are actually happy to spend the money on things if it's fair. So you know, it's good to see that Activision saw that they made loads of money with this, and they're like, right, we're going to use this system going forward. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the sheer amount of content in Modern Warfare. This goes from, like, camos and all stuff like that to, like, weapon challenges. They're always adding in new weapons, which you can do challenges to get, or you can do the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass was an amazing system. Like, it was introduced in Black Ops 4, but they kind of fucked it in the ass with the whole microtransactions and supply drop system. I think they just kind of ruined the Black Ops 4 Battle Pass. But the Modern Warfare one is supreme in every single way. Like, you can buy the tier skips, obviously, but you can also earn them for free, not very hard. If you want to, you know, play through the Battle Pass, I know people that have done it. I know, most people I know have completed the Battle Pass just completely free, not bought any tiers, simple as that. But basically, that's a great idea that they've added. The Battle Pass has so much content in it, whether it be skins, blueprints, which I really like, because they're just basically cosmetic variants for your gun. You can make them if you want. However, if you want that cosmetic, you know, like, difference, you can happily spend money on it. And that's one thing I really do like. There's a lot of choice with Modern Warfare in that regard. And the next thing I want to talk about is Warzone. Now, a lot of people probably expected this to be on here, and I wanted to talk about Warzone and its economic strategy, to be specific. So, if you don't know what we did, Activision did, sorry, not us, I don't know why I said that, but Activision basically made Warzone free to play, and it just exploded. Everyone was playing Warzone. Ninja went and played Warzone, Dr. Disrespect, basically all the bunch of old Fortnite streamers, Tfue, stuff like that, they all streamed Warzone, whether it be for a small amount of time or long term, and that just, it was like when Fortnite originally came out, but with Warzone. It was just really great seeing Call of Duty in the spotlight again, like, with this genius, like, there's no other way of putting it, this was a genius economic strategy on the behalf of Activision. Like, okay, let's make a part of the game free to play, they can spend as much microtransactions on that, and they can buy the rest of the game, which would help buy sales, because there's no doubt about it, people played Warzone, they were like, okay, I like the mechanics, I'm going to buy the full game and get access to the multiplayer, the campaign, and Spec Ops. So, we all know that happened. It made Activision probably a ton of money. We don't know the exact statistics of how much Warzone has led to, you know, purchases of the game, but the economic strategy of Warzone, going free to play, and then having another part of the game that you have to pay to unlock, which people were happy about, because Warzone is, like, kind of the big part of the game. That's what everyone wants to play, so you can play that for free. But if you want to play the multiplayer as well, you can buy the game like everyone else had to. And if you bought the game as well, you got Warzone as well, just on the disc, which is really cool, actually. Like, it was just a nice way of integrating it all together. If Black Ops Cold War expands on Warzone even better, like, we may be in for an absolute treat here. So the next thing I want to talk about is Gunsmith. Now, if you don't remember, before Gunsmith kind of came along in Modern Warfare, we had Pick 10, I'm pretty sure, in Black Ops 4, which, yeah, it worked from, like, Black Ops 2 to, like, Black Ops 3. Like, we were all very happy when the Pick 10 system came back in Black Ops 3. But now, it's like the community's kind of moved past Pick 10, and we want more stuff on our gun. Like, what I didn't like about Pick 10 is you couldn't really have the stuff you wanted. Like, with this new Modern Warfare Gunsmith system, I can have a perk each, a lethal and a tactical, and then 2 weapons on my class, whether they be 2 primaries or a primary and a secondary. But with Pick 10, you ended up sacrificing something, especially with wildcards in the mix, which probably wasn't great. But we've, at least with Black Ops Cold War, we've not got the Pick 10 system, and we have this system. Now, what I want to say about Gunsmith is it's an absolute masterpiece, and it's complete genius. Like, it's probably one of the most in-depth gun crafting systems I've seen in a game pretty much ever. And I was very happy with the implementation of it. There's so many attachments in Modern Warfare. The only downside to this, really, is the fact whenever you put an attachment on, say for example you put on a foregrip, you'd get like plus, I don't know, aim movement speed and aiming stability. but you might lose ADS speed or whatever. The only problem with that is the bars sometimes weren't very accurate. Like, just looking at a bar in general is like, okay, how am I meant to figure this out? What am I comparing it to? But other than that, Gunsmith is absolutely amazing and one of the best things in Modern Warfare. So the next thing I quickly want to talk about, I say quickly because I am very conscious of how much time I am spending on the good. The next thing I want to talk about is crossplay. Crossplay, it was about fucking time this happened. Like, Fortnite did it, and now Call of Duty's done it. Now, I don't understand why FIFA hasn't done it yet. They said that they said basically with the new game that you're sticking with your own consoles, which is kind of dumb. Like, FIFA would be perfect for that sort of thing, like Call of Duty. But, oh well, that's talking about FIFA. I may make a whole video on FIFA at some point in the future. But, crossplay on Call of Duty, I had it, so basically, my cousin plays on PS4, and I've not been able to play with my cousin on Call of Duty since Black Ops 2. That's how long it's fucking been. Like, obviously, I never played Ghosts in its prime, so I wouldn't know. My cousin did have it on the 360. I never played it with him though. I did play Black Ops 2 with him, and then Advanced Warfare, he got it on his PS4, and I still had it on 360. After as Black Ops 3 came along, I got an Xbox One instead of a PS4, so we didn't really play together, and that's almost been, 4 years? Longer probably, since I played a Call of Duty game with my cousin, so I'm glad that I can finally do that. And when Zombies comes around next year, this year now actually, Jesus, when Zombies comes around, it's going to be extremely fun to do crossplay Zombies, and I'm very, very glad that Activision allowed me to play with people on other consoles. And the other good thing about crossplay is it's actually kind of input based, so if I was to play with a controller on my PC version of Modern Warfare, I would be matched with other people playing with controller, either on Xbox, PlayStation, or PC. However, if I was on Xbox, and I decided to plug in my keyboard and mouse, for example, which you can do, believe it or not, you would be matched with people on PC or on PlayStation. I'm pretty sure it's a thing on PlayStation, and also on Xbox, playing with keyboard and mouse. So it's kind of input based, which is really intelligent. Like, I really like that. It basically means that people on keyboard and mouse don't get an unfair advantage over those people on console like they did in the beta. So yeah, the next thing I want to quickly talk about is the realism of the guns. So if you don't know, Infinity Ward did spend a lot of time at a shooting range, trying to, perfect the sound of the guns and stuff, and I think it really paid off. It feels realistic, it looks realistic, and it also sounds realistic. And that's just, as a gun nut, and also, for you Americans out there, that's just going to be the best fucking thing ever. Like, I really like realistic firearms, especially in games. Like, it just makes it feel so much more authentic. And with Modern Warfare's, whole stealth ops theme in, the night modes or multiplayer, I just think that's utterly insane, and it fits with the theme really, really well. Now, the next quick little thing here I want to talk about is map variation. Now, the maps in Modern Warfare, I'll admit, most of them are fucking dog shit. Like, seriously. We're going to take a look at Piccadilly. Now, I say map variation because if you take a look at Piccadilly, it's a memorable map. Not memorable in a good way because you'll be remembering all the times you wanted to kill yourself playing on it. But it's not your average 3-lane map. You've got about 5 or 6 lanes, and then you've got a massive centre thing in the middle, which is very unique, so you'll be definitely remembering Piccadilly in the future, which is kind of good. They've created a very memorable map, just memorable in the sense that it's fucking terrible. Yeah, the next thing I want to talk about is events. Now, if you don't know, we just had the Haunting of Verdansk event, and it was one of the most fun things I've ever played. I played Zombie Royale with Rick and Zavo the other day, as you saw on the channel, and it was a hell of a lot of fun. We had a good laugh playing it, and the game mode itself is actually really fun. I'm going to be quite upset when the game mode itself goes away, and I might stream it at some point either today, tomorrow, because obviously I'm off all week, and I definitely have the opportunity to stream all week if I wanted to, so if you want to see some streams, make sure you go and follow me on Twitch. With all the trick-or-treating stuff going on the Verdansk map, you can find all these various hidden items throughout the world, and I am yet to get on and hunt them all down, Like, I might do that on stream, as I said before, and it could be fairly fucking fun if people want to, like, join in and talk in chat and stuff, and it's actually really good fun when you get loads of people in chat. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, and the last thing in the good category, is the campaign. The campaign is one of the best Call of Duty campaigns ever written. Now, I'm not being over-generous with that statement. I genuinely think that the dark and realistic tone of the campaign is absolutely amazing. Like that mission where you have to infiltrate a fucking, like, apartment block filled with terrorists, and there's so many hard decisions to make, like an actual operator would face. It's just so great, and then there's, like, it's really dark, it's not, like, hidden behind, it's definitely not PC by any stretch of the imagination. It's a proper war story that's meant to show people the horrors of war, and that's what I really like. They really don't go and, like, miss out details, if that makes any sense. There's nothing that's like, oh, we're not going to show this because it might upset people. There is literally a scene in the campaign where you crawl through a field of dead children. Like, that is completely fucked, because I remember you have to wear a gas mask and you crawl in and you're trying to avoid Russian soldiers because the Russians are basically just, like, killing all the kids and shit. Basically just committing some of the worst war crimes you've ever seen, and that just makes it people feel like, holy shit, this stuff actually does happen in the real world, and this game is actually bringing awareness to that, as much as people are going to be upset by this scene, because it's not meant to be fucking pleasant, it's meant to be a disturbing fucking scene. Like, when I played through that on my old channel on Cosmic CTF, I was fucking disturbed by that scene. I was like, holy fucking shit. And then, like, to stop talking about that particular mission, there's the scene where you bomb Piccadilly as well. Well, people bomb Piccadilly, and it feels like an actual terrorist attack. Like, it doesn't feel like set up or anything like that. It feels absolutely horrific. Like No Russian in Modern Warfare 2. Like, if you've ever heard me talk about that, I'm pretty sure I did a Let's Play on one of my old channels, but I talked about how No Russian is genuinely horrific. Like, the screams you hear and everything, it feels like people are in utter terror, and it's the same sort of thing with this bombing on Piccadilly. It feels like people are genuinely terrified, and that no one knows what's just happened. Everyone's scrambling to take care of their family. The police are scrambling to deal with the terrorists because they're definitely not prepared for it. Sergeant Garrick is just there like, holy shit, what the fuck happened? But that just makes it such an amazing piece of storytelling, and it's a campaign I definitely won't be forgetting in years to come, and hopefully we're going to be getting more campaigns like that, because it was just fucking excellent. Right, so that's all we have for the good right there. We're going to move on to the meh now, which is probably not going to take as long. It's just the meh has a few more points than my Call of Duty Ghosts video, but as I said, it is a very polarising game. A lot of people think it's amazing, and a lot of people think it's really shit, so of course there's not going to be too many in the meh category, but hey, let's move on. So as I just aforementioned, this is probably going to be the shortest segment to the video. Like, obviously that first section was ridiculously long. I was trying to get this video into like 30 minutes maybe, which is probably what it's going to hit actually, especially if this one's only like 4 or 5 minutes long, and then the next one might be 10 again, which, you know, there's a lot to say about Modern Warfare, so hopefully you guys are enjoying the video so far. You can see this little bit of me talking as a little bit of a break, go get a cup of tea or whatever, and yeah, we're just going to jump straight into the meh. Now, the first thing I quickly want to talk about is mounting and super sprint. So, mounting and super sprint are things I relatively enjoyed. Like, I probably wouldn't mind if they just disappeared from Call of Duty, but I did have fun with them in the context of Modern Warfare. Like, I liked being able to, you know, sprint faster, but at the, you know, at the expense of, if you were shot at, you'd have much longer time to react, rather than just normal sprinting. And then mounting, Obviously, it was a little bit annoying when you'd be trying to shoot at someone and they'd be mounted and they're a very small hitbox. But like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's definitely a lot better than the leaning, I should say, in Call of Duty Ghosts. That thing was fucking awful. Like, most people just turned that shit off because it was that terrible. But mounting and Super Sprint, I had a lot of fun with in the context of Modern Warfare. I liked being able to mount my guns on things and be more accurate and basically like negate recoil, because obviously you've got a surface to help you out. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Another thing I'd like to quickly talk about is what they did to the C4. So, the C4, you used to actually be able to throw it quite far, and it was a very useful piece of kit. It was like Black Ops 2 C4, but, you know, you could throw it actually a bit further than the Black Ops 2 C4, and it was very useful in Warzone for taking out vehicles. Now, they actually nerfed this shit into the ground, and basically, if you throw it, it flops about 2 feet in front of you. It's actually abysmal what they've done to the C4. You could throw the C4 very far, and it was very destructive towards vehicles, but I always thought that was like kind of an intentional decision, and it was very like in the meta. A lot of people ran C4, and yeah, you could get some easy kills with it, and you got killed quite a bit with it, but it wasn't enough to warrant a nerf, in my opinion. People still ran other equipment. Like, when the C4 nerf came, I just swapped all of my C4 out for frag grenades. Like, it's just a way better C4, and you can change when it blows up, but it's not just like, you know, a manual double tap. It does it automatically, basically. But yeah, like, if you look at C4 in real life, they weigh about 2 pounds, I'm pretty sure, or half a kilogram for you metric cunts. But they weigh about 2 pounds, so there's a lot of things that weigh about 2 pounds, and you could definitely throw them quite a lot further than that. Like, say, for example, you're not throwing something that's like 2 pounds, like, not even 2 feet. You can definitely throw it a lot further than that. It's just like, it's just stupid, really. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I guess a lot of people did really like the C4 nerf because they weren't getting killed by C4 at all anymore. I've literally seen people try to throw C4 and it blows them up because, you know, they can't get the arc right. Which, yeah, the arc is very stupid on C4, but yeah, other than that, we're going to move on from C4. So the next thing I quickly want to talk about is store pricing for item packs. So, as I mentioned as an example before, there's the anime packs. Now, I bought one of them for the M4 because I really liked the look of it, and also the fact I'm weeb scum, so of course I'm going to buy it, and it's the M4 as well, which is a gun I really liked. But I bought that pack, and it was about 16 quid, I'm pretty sure. It wasn't a ridiculous amount of money, but it's definitely not on the cheap side. And a lot of people are saying, right, it's too expensive, and yeah, we need to do something about that. Which, yeah, I would like the prices to go down in the shop. That definitely wouldn't be a bad thing for me. But I can understand why Activision's charging this amount of money, because they've been, you know, messing around with supply drops for the last few years, and like, okay, if we put it at this price, we'll probably gain more money than we did with supply drops, which is what they did, fair enough. And a lot of people did spend the money because it was a fair system. I was happy to spend that money on COD points because I knew Modern Warfare is a fair system, and I would actually, you know, not regret my purchase because I'm not spending $800 on fucking supply drops. So, that's why the pricing is a bit of a meh for me. I don't really give a shit if it goes down. Like, I think the pricing, obviously I'd love it to be a lot cheaper, but if it stays the same, it won't really affect me. I'd still spend the money if there was something I really wanted, like another anime weapons pack. Yeah, it just seems like, obviously, Activision want to make fucking money on their things, and with creator codes as well, or percentages going to the creators, which, you know, it's like they've introduced that to kind of like further justify the price, which is fair enough. Like, I think that since part of it's going to help a creator, that's a great thing. I've not used the creator code myself, obviously, because I always forget about it. But if I do make another purchase in Modern Warfare, I'll be sure to use a creator code, because, you know, it's good to help people out. It really makes Activision like, okay, we can help these creators, we can do a positive thing, but we're also going to make loads of money from this, which I'm happy Activision's made a lot of money from this decision, because it's fucking fair. Like, you're paying for something that's not game-changing, and it just looks different. That's literally it. But yeah, like, I can understand why people are mad about the pricing. So the last thing I quickly want to mention in the meh is that they got rid of the old Captain Price voice actor in the campaign. So if you don't know, in the original Modern Warfare campaigns, Captain Price had a very different voice actor to what he has now. I'm not too sure of the voice actor's name, so you don't quote me on it. But I'd say that the new guy is actually really, really fucking good. And a lot of people were saying, yeah, this guy's good. And he's quite possibly just as good as the old guy. He does a very good Captain Price impression, if that makes any sense. Like, he can definitely pull off the voice of Captain Price. Even though it's a little bit different, it still sounds like Captain Price. And that's kind of like a very iconic voice. I really like what he has done with Captain Price. He's put a lot of life into the new Captain Price. So, I'm very happy that this new guy is just as good as the old Captain Price. So, yeah, now that is the meh out of the way. We're going to move on to everyone's favourite subject, the bad. So here we are at the final part of the video, and there is a lot to say in this category. Not as much as the good, but there is still a lot to say. So the first thing we're going to talk about is campers. Now, the way Modern Warfare was designed is, with a fast time to kill, people don't want to die, so they don't move around as much, and then all sorts of different factors contributed to this. I'm not too sure of them off the top of my head, but I know people did sit in corners a lot in this game, and it really pissed me off. If you've seen me playing on stream, I get super pissed off with these guys, because it's not fun to run into a lobby full of campers, especially in free-for-all. Like, you play free-for-all, nobody's running around except me. Like, I like to play, I like to rush, I love to push around, but there's always some fucking idiot sat in a corner with an Origin 12 ready to take you out. So that's one thing I really hate, and this is probably the main thing I really hate about Modern Warfare, because the way the gameplay was designed, it just seems to accommodate camping, like kill streaks as well. If you don't know, they brought kill streaks back, which I don't honestly give a shit. I don't really mind whether it's score streaks or kill streaks, as long as it's not the fucking Black Ops 4, not Black Ops 4, Black Ops Cold War system. That is abysmal. But, yeah, I don't really mind. But kill streaks in this case, since points don't count, people don't play the objective, and they don't want to die, so they sit in corners. It basically, all the way the game was designed, accommodates this playstyle of sitting in a corner with an Origin 12 and waiting for me to come around so you can arse rape me. Like, I wish that campers just weren't a thing in Call of Duty. Obviously, they've been a thing in pretty much every Call of Duty, but they've not accommodated them like this one, and it's ridiculous. Thank God Black Ops Cold War, people actually fucking move around. The next thing I want to talk about is that match timers tend to run out a lot quicker. Say, for example, I'm playing free-for-all right now. I'll be in free-for-all, I'll be getting kills, I'd probably be towards the top, and vast majority of time, people don't reach 30 kills because they're sat in fucking corners, just not doing anything. Like, they don't actually go out and actively pursue for kills. The only way they get kills is when people walk into their fucking Shelob's lair, and they just instantly mow them down with an automatic shotgun. Now, the next thing we're going to move on to is the maps. The maps in Modern Warfare, off the top of my head, are fucking awful. Like, Piccadilly, oh my fucking god, it's terrible. Like, people sit in corners, there's massive open spaces, there's a window that overlooks said open space, so whatever fucking Tom, Dick and Harry can sit in that window and just shoot you in the fucking head the second you stick out of the door. It's just, like, the buses as well, there's always someone sat in there, there's people at the back of each lane. It's just ridiculous for camping that map, and just the way it's laid out is awful. As I said, it is very memorable because you're gonna fucking hate it and have nightmares about it for the rest of your life, but yeah, it's not a fucking good map, and like some of the other ones, like Ramaza's alright, it's not very original, it just seems so fucking boring. Like, most of the maps in Modern Warfare are fucking boring. The exception to that is Gunrunner. I fucking love Gunrunner. And then Shipment as well, they completely fucking destroyed that map. They made it somehow awful, Like, I don't know how, but yeah, somehow they just completely messed up Shipment. There was a lot of other maps, like, I can't even think of a lot of Modern Warfare maps off the top of my head, because they're just that unmemorable. I can think of Gunrunner, I can think of Shipment, I can think of Piccadilly, because Shipment and Piccadilly I absolutely despise. I'm trying to think of other maps, because genuinely, they're that fucking boring. Like, I can't even think of any. There was Azir Cave, which is alright. It's not the best map in the game, but it's definitely one of the most, like, well-liked ones. What else was there? There's just, honestly, some of the original maps, I can't even fucking think of them. That's because how boring they are. But yeah, we're gonna move on from maps now, because I'm having a fucking seizure trying to figure out which ones are actually in the game. The next one is also on the subject of maps. There was very few original maps given post-launch. Like, we got the Tank Factory map, we got a load of gunfight maps which were original, but we didn't get a lot of original maps in the game, especially for 6v6. We got Rust, which was an amazing remake. I absolutely love Rust in Modern Warfare. But we got, like, other stuff. Like, we just got loads and loads of remakes. We got Vacant, Shipment, we got loads of other maps. We got Rust, obviously, and I'm actually struggling to think of them now. But I know we did get a lot more. We got a few maps. We got Crash. Crash is a good map. Just not getting original maps kind of made me feel like, okay, they're relying a bit too much on stuff that's already been made. And that, you know, I want to see original maps. I want to see a few remakes here and there. Like Black Ops 4, I'll give this example here. 99% of the maps were remakes. Like, they kept adding, oh, here's a new map, and it was fucking Hacienda, but made unbearable to play because you could hardly fucking see 2 inches in front of your face. Like, honestly, I'm still pissed off about Hacienda Twilight. Oh my lord. But yeah, it's just not good when a developer has to rely on their own old projects, which, you know what, Call of Duty maps over the last few years, they haven't been, like, the best of quality, which is not great, but I would rather have original maps than just remake. Like, I'd rather have some original, fun content to play with. If we can get a banging map that's original, I'll play the shit out of it. Like, I really did enjoy Gunrunner, so I'm going to use that map as a lot as examples when I talk about Modern Warfare. It's because I really like the map. It's free lane, but it's free lane made interesting. There's lots of, you know, different ways to traverse the map. There's different levels of verticality. It's just all sorts of stuff. Now, we're going to move on from maps before, you know, my brain just fucking explodes. The next thing we're going to talk about is skill-based matchmaking. You guys knew this was going to be in here somewhere. I talked about this in my Black Ops Cold War video. I do not like skill-based matchmaking. You know, I'm not boasting here, but I'd say I'm a relatively good player. So I end up getting put with good players. Now, that completely ruins my experience of the game. So I'll do well in a few games, say, for example. This is like a vicious cycle. So say, for example, I'm doing well. I then get put in a better lobby because you can't stay in your own lobbies anymore like you could in all Call of Duty games, because after each match, they basically just rearrange you based on skills. So say I play 2 matches. I do well in both of those matches, getting 30 kills, say, for example. And then, after that, on the 3rd match, I get put in a new lobby filled with people that were also getting 30 plus kills in their last game. Now, I'm not going to go 30 kills anymore. I'm going to go something like 5 or 10 because everyone's fucking sweating off the game. And I would say that just because I play casually. I don't really play competitively until it gets into like those last few points. But I'm not there playing like full-blown sweat mode like these guys are. I just say I'm a relatively casual. I like to have fun with the game, not actually like caring about more my KD and that. But I ended up in these fucking like lobbies where people are just MLG rejects. They're fucking jumping off walls. They're doing 360s. They're fucking sliding in and then taking me out. And you're just like, oh my fucking god, these guys are so sweaty. I'm not having fun with the game. So I lose a few matches. I get put back into these good matches. I do well, and the cycle repeats. Like, that is not a good way to play Call of Duty. I'd rather either introduce a competitive game mode where people can play like that and then all the sweats go off and play that because, you know, they want to be sweaty and play against equal people who are equally as sweaty. And then the rest of us get put into, you know, like a game mode where we can all play and have fun and be casual. Like, if people get shit on in casual, that just means you're bad. Genuine. That means you're terrible. I played in Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 does have skill-based matchmaking, however, but it wasn't as strong as it is now. Like, I wasn't being kicked out of lobbies to go and put me with a bunch of sweats. Like, honestly, I'd rather just have a casual game where people are, you know, talking in lobbies and stuff like that, having fun, and just, like, honestly, if I wanted to play Call of Duty, I'm not playing it because I'm a fucking sweat. I'm playing it for a bit of fun, and I want to relax from my day after college or whatever. I want to relax. I don't want to be fucking, like, trying to, having to compete with a bunch of MLG sweats, so... that's my problem with skill-based matchmaking. I'm probably going to go into a bit more detail on that in a future video, because I really want to make a video talking about skill-based matchmaking. And yeah, we're coming on to the last part of the bad right here, and that is Xbox and PC had to wait a whole fucking year for survival. Now, if you don't know, Spec Ops had two modes on PS4. You had the missions, and you had survival. Now, survival managed to get, like, so I don't know how the fuck they made this deal. It still baffles me to this day. But they decided it would be a good idea to basically put survival a whole year early on PS4. Whose fucking idea was that? That was horrendous idea. I don't know how they managed that, but they're like, oh yes, let's have it a whole year early. Like, a month I could have dealt with. Like, maybe even a week. Like, that would have been a good time, because that's where, with Black Ops 4, I'm pretty sure that's how quick PS4 users got the, the content. They get it a week before Xbox players, which I was completely fine with. Like, yeah, I can, watch a video a week earlier talking about it, and like, oh yeah, I can't wait to jump on this new content. And then before that, we'd had a month, which, I'd also wouldn't mind compared to a whole fucking year. Jesus Christ, like, honestly, I watched someone play Survival last year when the game came out, and, yeah, it wasn't, like, I was really looking forward to playing that, and I was like, oh shit, I can't play it because I'm on fucking Xbox. Well done, Activision. How the fuck did you manage that one? And, yeah, we got it recently, actually. Survival is now on Modern Warfare, so if you want to jump on and play it, you can do, but I wouldn't recommend it, because it's fucking terrible. Like, why are we waiting a whole year for terrible fucking content? Like, I don't understand. Like, just put it in the game at launch. It's not hard. I know Sony has a fucking exclusivity deal, which is a whole different fucking issue. I despise exclusivity deals. Obviously, I was young when the Xbox One was happening, so it was like 2014. I was only like 12, so honestly, I was like, hell yeah, we get content first. But now, when about Infinite Warfare, Modern Warfare Remastered, that sort of stuff came in, I was like, I basically was old enough to think, right, I'm going to take a look at this. This doesn't seem like a good fucking business practice. And if Xbox got the exclusivity deal back, I'd still fucking complain about it, because it's unfair. Like, obviously that's not as much of a thing with crossplay anymore. You're there like, oh yeah, everyone has to get the content at the same time, otherwise crossplay would be fucking useless. But obviously, I'm guessing with Survival, it was just completely just fucking thrown out. And yeah, it wasn't a good decision, let's be honest. I was very passionate about this when they announced Survival was going to be like a year. You'd be waiting a year. I was very fucking annoyed. It's like with Black Ops Cold War, sorry, I'm apparently losing the will to live. But with Black Ops Cold War, they keep announcing all this, like, oh yeah, you pre-order digitally, and it's just that. They're completely missing out a portion of the fan base because of their choices, which is a terrible fucking business practice. Like, honestly, I want to do a whole video talking about this at some point, like Activision's business practices, because I really like talking about this sort of shit with people, and I think it'll be a very interesting video, so make sure you stay tuned. But yeah, that is it for the bad, and we're going to go straight in to the conclusion now. So, first of all, I just want to quickly apologise for the fact this video has been ridiculously long. We're pretty much at 40 minutes right now, but there was a lot to talk about. It's almost double the length of my Call of Duty Ghosts video, which, you know, there wasn't as much to talk about with Call of Duty Ghosts, and since Modern Warfare is technically still the current Call of Duty game, I think it's best to go in depth and talk about the things that are, you know, controversial, talk about the good things in like actual depth, because that can help you guys get a better understanding on my opinions of the game, because we can take a look at controversies and then like analyze that controversy and say, okay, this influenced my opinion on the game in such and such a reason. So in conclusion, obviously I'm going to say this here, I fucking love Modern Warfare. It's probably my favourite Call of Duty game since Black Ops 2. I fucking love this game. It's genuinely a hell of a lot of fun to play. Despite its flaws, it's a hell of a lot of fun to play. The kill streaks are amazing. You saw 2 chopper gunners in this video. You saw UAVs, you saw Harriers, you saw all sorts, and a hell of a lot of fucking fun. Like, the guns are amazing, the kill streaks are amazing, the field upgrades, which is something I haven't actually mentioned, are a lot of fun as well. They're like specialists, but better because they're not fucking weapons. And yeah, it's just, Modern Warfare is a hell of a lot of fun. If you haven't played it, or if you don't own the game, go and fucking buy it. Like, it's genuinely a lot of fun. Or even if you just have Warzone, play fucking Warzone. It's absolutely just loads of fucking fun. And I'm really upset that I only started this channel in what, August? July, August time, and I've not had enough time to properly flesh out Modern Warfare and make as many videos on it as I hope. So here's to Black Ops Cold War, everyone. If you've got a glass, make sure you get one in your hand, have a nice beer or whatever, and here's to Black Ops Cold War. But anyway, overall, I'd say, obviously, I said I fucking love Modern Warfare, so I'd probably give it a 7 or an 8 out of 10. So, there you have it. We've heard it here, folks. Modern Warfare is a 7 or 8 out of 10. So, yeah, if you did enjoy this video, sorry it was very long, but that's literally because there was so much to fucking talk about. I was doing Doki Doki Literature Club, I should say, so I kind of like fucked over my original schedule there, because I was doing daily uploads with that. I'm kind of going into my old schedule a little bit. I'm probably going to bring back a horror game relatively soon. I have a Minecraft horror map going up tomorrow as you're seeing this, so make sure you go and check that out. It should be going up in about 24 hours time from when you're seeing this. Other than that, though, actually, no, what time am I going to... I've decided this, by the way. I'm going to... I think I'm going to, premiere this at some point. So, fingers crossed, you guys... Actually, no, you should be seeing the next video within... I'd say within 36 hours. So, make sure you go and check that out when you are ready. But anyway, I'd like to thank you guys very much for watching. Thanks for all the support on the channel this year with Modern Warfare. It's really been great. Sorry I didn't do it from the start. Obviously, that's because I had so many different channels before this. But yeah, now we finally settled down. Hopefully, Black Ops Cold War, I'll be able to make content on it year-round. So, and then when Call of Duty 2021 gets announced, we should be in for a treat. So I'd like to thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.